What up, YouTube? It's your boy Daniel Llanos back again. Your favorite sports aficionado or sports enthusiast, whatever you like to call it. I would love to keep this low key. So, back here again. I would have done this yesterday, but I was busy doing some errands and worked out and thinking about school, whatnot. Thankfully I've been blessed with a really good schedule. Well, I made myself to have a really good schedule because I took 6 classes last semester. Although I'm taking 5 this semester, I have one asynchronous course and then another class which is just one big project. Another class that is more primarily classwork, so homework shouldn't really be a problem. So in this instance, videos and me uploading shouldn't be a problem, as I mentioned before, but that's neither here nor there. As you can see in the background, maybe you can't see it, the weather is looking kind of chilly out here. It is a snowy day where I am from, although thankfully it didn't snow as much as it did, because I would have been sad to shovel and still have classes the next day. That's the only thing I will say. I miss going to class, but now with the snow day and online classes, literally a snow day means absolutely nothing. And yeah, it really does, because not only do we still have online classes, I still gotta shovel where I'm from. Usually we would have the next day off, or have at least a half a day to shovel, but be that as it may, thankfully not a lot of snow in my area, so I lucked out. Anyways, back to what this video is about. What happened this weekend? Oh yes, championship weekend for the NFL playoffs, NFC championship game, AFC championship game. Well, I'm more of I consider myself to be an optimist, so let's start with where I did well. The Kansas City Chiefs. Well, honestly, not a fan of the team name. Let's go with the team in Kansas City. Let's go with the team in Kansas City, and primarily that team has not let me down, and more precisely, Patrick Mahomes has not let me down. I have so much faith in this man. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. You could say he's overhyped. I will say he is a great quarterback, but the argument could be made that he's been blessed with the right head coach, the right weapons, etc. But here's the Alex Smith argument. So in one aspect, he is a great / an elite quarterback. But if you plug any of the elites in there, hard to say. If Drew Brees back in his I would say back when he was still good. Now I feel like he got old. He had that good stretch before. He had a rough patch in the beginning of the season, and then right before he got that rib injury, he was looking passable and I would say, yeah, he was looking passable. He was doing his usual Drew Brees things, but more. His arm was kind of decreased. His arm strength was definitely decreasing, and he got exposed in that Buccaneers loss. But I will say if he was there, Rodgers, obviously, even Deshaun, Russell had that rough patch too. I don't know. Russell, Deshaun. I wouldn't say Breeze towards. It depends what Breeze. If you gave me Breeze towards that stretch in the middle of the season, he would have done decent with this offense. Brady. That's 4. Yeah, that's basically it. I would say those 4. Or I said Russell, Deshaun, Breeze, Brady, Rodgers. Yeah, those 5. Breeze kind of. I would say those 4 would have done about the same, if not better. But to be fair, his offensive line isn't the greatest, so if I had to pick, I would say a more mobile quarterback probably would have succeeded. So I would say Russell, Deshaun, and Rodgers probably would have succeeded in this offense. If you have Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill on the same team, it is kind of unfair. You have to double team one or the other, and unfortunately you can't double team both, because that would just leave everybody else open. So, or you just get killed in the run game, honestly, because I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That team has way too many weapons. They made Buffalo look foolish. They made them look. They made Buffalo. See, this is what I don't like, because I want to low-key get on a rant, because almost the rest of the freaking sports media out here was saying, oh, you got to get in with momentum. You know what wins games? You really want to know what wins games here? Freaking talent. That's what wins games here. So, honestly, although I believe momentum is a thing in football, the freaking team was what they did not lose since way back in the beginning of the season. I would say like week 5 or 6, where they got attacked. They got an air raid crash from the Las Vegas Raiders. That's their last loss, true loss. That Chargers loss doesn't count because they were sitting everybody. So I don't know why people were saying, oh, they look bad. It's bad to win close games. It's actually a good thing to win close games. If you're winning close games, that means you're prepared to be in a close game, and you know what your job needs to be done, and you won't fold, choke, make mistakes, because you've been there, done that. Oh my gosh, so much of the media got me annoyed believing in this Buffalo Bills hype, saying they were their hottest team because they were blowing people out. Unfortunately, that defense, although it has improved and it was looking good, it does not have a pass rush, and you need a pass rush to beat Patrick Mahomes. And unfortunately, playing zone gets you death by 1,000 paper cuts against Travis Kelce. And not only that, if you can't keep Tyreek Hill in front of you, he's gonna eviscerate you with his speed. Once he breaks loose, you're done. Those two combined for 290 yards and 2 TDs. Patrick Mahomes, although you benefited from this too, he was still sensational. 29 for 38, with a couple drops, mind you, for 325, 3 TDs. The guy, what else is new? Honestly, he's on the pathway to being really good. This is his second Super Bowl, and I know this is his 4th season, and people are going to count that, but this is technically his 3rd season as a starter, so he's 2 for 3 for getting to the Super Bowl, and then 1 AFC Championship game where he lost in a classic to Brady in overtime. And if it had not been for D Ford, they would have won that game. But I'm not here to play the what-if game, and like obviously it's unfair for the team to lose on a stupid coin toss in overtime, which is usually the case. The team that usually wins because they get the ball first. It's usually the case. But back to the game, yeah, Josh Allen honestly, the Bills' offensive line got overpowered by the Chiefs' defensive line, and Spagnuolo just kept bringing the heat, and they were ill-prepared. They locked down Stephon Diggs towards the end of the game, etc., etc. They were up 9-0, and then the Chiefs won in a 38-6 run. Are you kidding me? Honestly, it's going to take a lot to stop that team. So that's the AFC side. Onwards to the NFC side. Damn Aaron Rodgers. That has to suck. You got everything you wanted, and you still lost. Honestly, a lot of the blame could be shared because overall, that's a team loss right there. Honestly, a lot of people are gonna try and defend him, and although a lot of people are gonna slander him too. He needed this win because out of everybody, he was gonna have the most to lose per se. Because he got the number 1 seed. He had everything at Lambeau. Everything was cooking. The defense was cooking. The offense was cooking. To be fair, their offensive line wasn't completely healthy, and Bakhtiari was out. And that kind of showed, considering JPP and Shaq Barrett had a field day yesterday. Because Rodgers got pressured the most ever since the other Tampa game, which is kind of hilarious. Brady had a great first half. On the second half, I will not let him get away with this. He threw 3 picks. People will say that situationally, it wasn't that bad because of what side of the field he threw the balls at. I mean, picks are picks. He didn't play particularly well. If I had to grade him, he got a B- because he got the dub, and he had the great first half. A lot of this loss could be shared all around. Blame Kevin King. What are you doing? Blame the defensive coordinator for allowing that play at the end of the half to happen. The refs letting them play. There are a lot of plays, but that's neither here nor there. What else? Matt LaFleur not giving Rodgers a chance at the end of the game. I don't know why. Give it to analytics, bro. Analytics should help, but when you have the eye test, you have the eye test. What are you doing? This is like what the manager for the Rays did in the World Series. When analytically, because my man's was probably the matchup or something, because I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but when Blake Snell is dealing in that game and he allows like the one run or the one hit, you let him keep going, even if he gives up the run. He was the best pitcher, and look what happened. The Rays lost that game. My man was dealing. Aside from that, this is a similar situation where I don't care if you're at the 8. You're not getting the ball back if Brady gets a first down. So you might as well end the game right there. And not only that, you'll pin them back right there at the 8, which is better if you really think about it. And I will say it's a shared blame, because although King got picked on a lot, LaFleur made some interesting decisions and he went away from the run game. I will say Rodgers had opportunities in the end zone. Him and Lazard were off in that first play. He could have ran it on that third down, and the decision might have been a little easier for LaFleur. Not only that, he got too focused on Devontae. He really did, because instead of scoring touchdowns, they scored field goals on one of the possessions, and he had Lazard for one of them, and he decided to go with Devontae. Not only that, but he did nothing with Brady's 2 picks. He really did. He had 2 opportunities to go up, and he did not cash in on Brady's 2 duds. So that is the Super Bowl matchup. Tampa goes to a home Super Bowl. Honestly, you cannot bet against Brady. Dude is like a zombie. Honestly, I have fatigue of the dude, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. At this point, this dude is the GOAT. Although you wouldn't be saying it if you wouldn't believe it with his stats right now. Dude's a gamer and he wins games. If you need a quarterback, if you wanted to pick a quarterback to take you to the playoffs and win you a Super Bowl, he would be the one. It's interesting to see because the matchup, to preview the Super Bowl, it's the GOAT versus the baby GOAT, or possibly the heir apparent with Patrick's current trajectory. It is a home Super Bowl for the Buccaneers. But right now, if we look on paper, the Chiefs, the Kansas City team should go back to back. Honestly. And if he does, it'll be good to have a win against Brady, even though he still looks comparable. He still looks passable. He threw 40 touchdown passes for the regular season, so it'll be nice to have. It'll be 2-0 back to back, and he'll have one up on Brady, and it'll be 7-1 in the playoffs. And he'll need 4 more to catch up to Brady. I mean, they could do it again next year, but if he really wants to cement himself and there to be like, for people to really question if there's an argument for him to be had, if he continues his current trajectory, if he wins this one, then it's a possibility. I won't give you my pick because I need some more things to unfold, and depending how I'm feeling, because it could be a coin toss. And I want to talk about some other sports during this period because it's a Pro Bowl Sunday, so I will make my preview or that on Saturday, next Saturday, when it's time to make a pick. It gives me more time to sit on it too. Honestly, I'm expecting a good one. I don't think Tyreek is going to go crazy. I don't think they're going to let him go one-on-one. He's not going to have 200 yards receiving in the first quarter. They play. This is another matchup of 2 teams that played each other. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's the heir apparent versus the GOAT. So I'm really excited for the Super Bowl matchup. A lot of storylines. Can't wait for it to happen. That is all the time I have for today, talking NFL playoffs. Please subscribe to my channel, give me a like. I really appreciate it, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.